The next letter is H.
Hand sanitizer, hair clip, hairbrush.
All right. All right. H stands for Home Hostess Coaching. And did you hear that? It's not hostess coaching. It's called Home Hostess Coaching. Hostess coaching is basically helping your hostess have a good show. And guess what? Did you know that somebody might have their very first show and have never done a show before? Maybe they've never had a candle show or a makeup. They've never done anything. So you have to assume that they don't know anything about hosting a show. And sometimes it's real easy. You guys get it when you're new because you're so new that you're kind of explaining it actually partly for yourself as you are the hostess. And then after a while, you just assume everybody knows what they're doing, and they don't. So Amy's going to role play it, and then I'm going to talk about a few things. So mainly, though, she's going to just not, I want you to really pay attention to her, because she's not going to tell the hostess what to do. She's going to show and explain to the hostess. So listen to her. Who's your hostess?
I'm Michelle. Do you want to help me out here? Hey, Michelle, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I brought your hostess packet for you. We're still good for the date of the 27th at 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because that's going to get you 25 bucks and free jewelry right off the bat. Michelle, why did you schedule a date with me? What got you really excited about having me over?
To get some free jewelry and have some girlfriends over.
Okay, good. How much free jewelry would it be great to have?
Maybe 200.
200? What if I can get you like 300? Would that be better?
That'd be awesome.
Christmas gifts and hanging out with girlfriends. Okay, good. So I've got this packet for you. I'm going to show you the best ways to get free jewelry. When 10 guests come to your show, you're going to get another 25 bucks in free jewelry. So that would put you at 50. And what I've done for you, Michelle, is I've got in here, let's see, this right here. This will help you think of all sorts of people to invite. You want to invite as many people as you can. Nobody's ever offended by an invitation. So this helps you think of, don't just invite the girlfriends from the neighborhood, invite friends you haven't seen in a long time, and because this is your girls' night. This is a night women need a stress relief. They need a night out. So you want to think of everybody and anybody that would like a night out, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, so here, hold on to that. And then when you get 10 people that come beside yourself, that's another 25 bucks and free over invite. We talked about that. Then you're going to have people that aren't going to be able to make that show. So what you can do then, you still want to offer them a really great piece of jewelry for Christmas presents, that kind of thing. $100 in sales before your show, you get another 25 bucks in free jewelry, and that's what this catalog. And actually, this is kind of your show insurance. What I mean by that is when you get $100 in sales before your show, you're looking at 80 bucks in free and 4 items at half off before I even walk in the door. So how does that sound?
That sounds great.
Yeah,
I'm
so
excited.
Good, good. Which all my hostesses were like you. So that you really want to do that, and don't stop at 100 because everything is going to come back to you. And I have these order forms for you. I can't hear you. Oh, there. Oh, sorry. Hello. Sorry, they couldn't hear you back there. Okay, better? Yes. Okay. All right, so here's the order forms. Super easy. Do me a favor, have your guests fill out the top part of here, okay? Especially phone number, because if I need to get a hold of them, sometimes people order a ring and they forget to put down the ring size, so I want to be able to call them without having to bother you. And an email address, because I will send them an email receipt form as well. So just write down the item number, the name, add that up, get your jewelry total, shipping, get that total, times it by your tax. Your tax here is 8.5%. I have this handy little tax sheet for you right here, where let's say they order $84 worth of stuff. You find $84 here. They owe $92.27. Easy?
Yeah.
Okay, so those go with that catalog, and I'll just grab this catalog with the orders the night of the show. I don't need it beforehand, so don't stress yourself out trying to get it to me. Just hold on to it. Okay, then if you get 3 girlfriends who are interested in doing a girls' night also, and they're the big hero because they got all their girlfriends together, you're going to get another 25 bucks in free jewelry also. So if you're talking to people, let them know that they can do this too. On the back here, your top 10 favorite items, but you are going to want more than that, and I have this sheet for you too. I just got it.
Oh,
She has it other than others. Oh. Thank you. This side is for you to write down all of your favorite things. If you run out of space here, you can write them on here. Because typically I'd like to close the show out the night of the show. If we have to leave it open a day or two, that's okay, but I don't like to leave it open longer than that because people want to get their stuff. Some people are getting them for gifts and that kind of thing. And right here is a little formula that you can figure out what your show needs to be in order to get everything for free. Because I don't want you paying a dime out of pocket. I want you to get it all for free, okay? All right. For your show, your guest list, you're going to over-invite. You've already got that. You know what? If you call your girlfriends and just say, hey, I'm having a girls' night. What are you doing on the 27th? Get them to come that way, and then the invitation will be a reminder for them. People just respond better to actual phone call invitations. Show the catalog around. Complete your wish list. Simple refreshments, but you know what? Tell me what you like to put out. If you're putting out for a girls' night, are you a closet caterer where you just like to put out a great big huge spread but nobody really knows that about you? Do you like to put out chips and dip?
I don't know which one am I.
What do you like to do? When you're having girlfriends over, what do you like to do?
Whatever.
Okay.
I'm the closet. I just pull whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do. If you want to put out a great big huge spread, you can, but I'm letting you off the hook. If you are like me and I just stop at Chili's and get chips and salsa and that's pretty much it, you can do that too. Don't stress, spend a lot of time or a lot of money with snacks. Do what's easy for you. Also, when people come over to your house, where do they typically spend time?
In the living room.
In the living room, okay. You know what? What about, you've got a great kitchen area here. If we set the jewelry up right here on your kitchen table, you've got good lighting above here. We'll put some snacks, over here too. People want to be by the jewelry and by the food. So we'll just keep everybody in the same room. And then even when I do the demonstration, just like I did at Mia's house where we met, I'll just do it right by the jewelry. And that way everybody is right there. They don't have to go to another room and it's all good. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now it does say that due to potential liabilities, Premier has no alcohol policy, but you're a big girl, what you do in your own home, I just would prefer if there's going to be a lot of, whooping it up, just wait till I'm all done and out there. People just get sued happy these days and they're not going to come after, we don't want anybody coming after you or me or the jewelry company. So, any questions for me? No? This is going to be fun. I'm telling you what, you don't even have to clean your house. We'll light some candles in the other room. Don't even clean your house. Just have the table cleared off. I will show up. Your show's at 6:47. I did that on purpose because people will notice the time and they'll think you're crazy. I got to see what Michelle is up to. And then I will show up at your house about 40 minutes prior to, and we'll just go ahead and set the jewelry up there. Also, let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about doing something like this?
No.
No? Do you have any girlfriends that would be interested in making about $50 an hour?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Could
Well,
ask them.
I'm going to leave you with this sheet also. This kind of shows you a little bit of information about this business. If you know of somebody that's maybe struggling because they've got kids in college now, or gas prices, are crazy, or they need a new car, get them here, because our reps on average, we make about $50 an hour, about $300 every time we go to a jewelry show. We have a 3-month trial. There's no quotas, so you really can work it in around your schedule. So I'm going to leave this information here with you also, but do me a favor, don't throw it away. If it's not something that you're interested in, pass it along to a girlfriend, because I have a really good referral program too.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions for me? Okay.
Yeah, what's that noise?
The dog's in the backyard. Okay, well, great. Thank you so much for letting me stop by. I'll see you soon.
Perfect. Whoops. You know what? These new Hostess packets are brand new. They just came out. And, oh, you are stuck.
Stuff.
To roll it.
Help me.
And pull it the other way.
Help me.
Oh, wait a minute. It's really in there. Okay, wait. There we go. Okay. Good thing we're taping this. We'll have to edit that part out.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm not in. It's staying
Okay,
in.
gee, I'm going to turn that off. It'll
Well,
get
and
stuck.
usually I have, and I grabbed the wrong Hostess packet. This one wasn't quite finished. But I usually have my last 10 home shows in there. If you don't have 10 home shows that you've done or your first 10 home shows, use your sponsors, because that's a pretty powerful tool when people can see how much free jewelry you've given away and how much you can make by doing this, because we're different than other companies. Yeah.
You talked about a tax sheet.
Yes, good. I forgot that too. On the website, when you do home shows, each town has a different tax rate, and you can just go in and type in their zip code, and a tax thing will pop up, and you can print it out. I print that out and I bring that to my hostess coaching appointment, so she doesn't need a calculator when filling out order forms. It's just a really easy tool.
What about when you look at the tax rate and it gives you a couple of different...
Good question. Some areas have different tax rates. That's usually for within city limits or outside of city limits. Outside the city limits is unincorporated. They're usually on well and septic. 9 times out of 10, your homes are going to be, it's the higher one. It's inside city limits. And if it's not, I always just choose that higher one just because that's what it usually is. And it really only is pennies of a difference.
Now, the reason that you want a home hostess coach is because you're creating that relationship. And it's all about, Premier is all about relationships. And if you noticed at the very end, she offered about, would you like to make $50 an hour, or do you know of somebody that could? You know, when you're sitting there and you're in her home, and you know, you just can relate to her a little bit more. When you walk in, you may want to compliment her on, you know, on something with her house. You can kind of like see what her kids do just by looking at the pictures. This is a relationship that you're beginning with your hostess. The other reason is you want to be able to take a trial run to her home. Because would you rather get lost at the hostess coach, or would you rather get lost at the show? So it's a good way to just make sure you know where you're going. You also want to do visuals. You know what? There is no exact one way when you're setting up a home show. Everybody's house is different. You may want to set up right away and, like Amy said, have the jewelry in the kitchen, and then the food is on the island. You know, there might be people that say, you know, my friends would be more comfortable in the family room when I'm, you know, when we're just sitting down looking at the jewelry presentation. So you may do shows sometimes one way and sometimes the other way. It certainly is okay to have all the jewelry in a big table in the dining room, and then if you have all of your jewelry in the dining room and you're sitting in the family room, you can still have a small amount that you're showing. The jewelry doesn't have to be in the same room. It can be. It's, you know what I'm saying? It might just depend on the house, and it might depend on where, you know, where you are. I generally do try to make sure that the hostess has very limited little amounts of food. Because the reason why is usually you get started right away, and you're going, and people really aren't in, you don't want people in by the food, you kind of want them in, you know, like playing with the jewelry. And plus, if somebody has a lot of food there and it looks like it's kind of expensive, somebody might not want to book a show because they're thinking, wow, that's going to cost a lot of money. So you want, that's why we always try to have them have a little amount as possible. The hostess coaching, once you do the hostess coach, we generally say to do that about 3 to 4 weeks ahead of time. And the reason we do that is because we want to be able to give that hostess a chance to turn that into our training show. If you noticed, Amy said, is there anybody that you can think of that could use make $50 an hour? Do you know, lots of times your hostess will say, yeah, me. And the thing is, generally that's your #1 prospect, is your hostess. So you want to be able to give her time to be able to do that. There's a checklist. We're not going to go into this in detail, but your sponsor will help you do that. We just want to make sure that you know that it's there and that you are using it, because you are going to follow up and you are going to call, you're going to check back with her a couple weeks later, and then a couple days before her show to remind her to do her reminder calls. And you want to build this relationship. You don't want to sound like a telemarketer to her. You might want to say something like, hey, are you having anybody come that's like you haven't seen in a while? Yeah, my friend actually from high school. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so excited for you. Not, how many people are you having coming so I know how many folders I need? Do you know what that says? How many people are you having so I can see how much money I'm making? Do you know what I'm saying? Be her friend. Be genuine and just create that relationship with her. And like your friend. But you're going to be able to fill this out, and you want to be able to use this as your checklist. This is really there to help you remember to go through and finish up with that hostess. So, right? Anything else with that? With the hostess? All right, we have another letter. Get your purses out. This letter, got your tickets? Man, these girls are good too. You got your work cut out for you.